If you picture a modern extreme sporting event, you are almost guaranteed to see a green claw mark plastered somewhere in the mud. Monster Energy is ubiquitous in the 21st century, dominating the market as the definitive anti-establishment brand. It thrives on high-intensity, aggressive aesthetics, forging deep and highly lucrative associations with violent competitions like mixed martial arts. The company pays out massive sponsorships to the most notorious fighters in the world, including multi-million-dollar deals with athletes like Conor McGregor. This edgy, aggressive identity feels entirely modern, but the company pulling the strings here was not cooked up in a corporate boardroom recently. It began 70 years ago as a wholesome, family-run fruit juice business. To understand how a family fruit stand mutated into a $50 billion empire, we have to look at how sheer financial desperation forced a company to completely destroy its original identity. In the early 20th century, a man named Hubert Hansen noticed a clear opportunity. The blistering summers in California created a massive demand for beverages that were both refreshing and highly nutritious. People were cutting back on solid food purchases during the Great Depression, but they still needed baseline nutrition. So in 1935, Hubert established a business selling homemade, shelf-stable fruit juices. He managed to build a consistent, wealthy customer base early on. His primary clients were retailers and the sprawling Hollywood film studios popping up across Los Angeles. This organic, healthy, family-oriented identity was a perfect fit for the economic realities of the Depression era. It worked so well that it locked in the company's brand DNA for the next 7 decades. Following the Second World War, the American economy boomed, and consumer diets shifted heavily. With nutritious solid foods suddenly abundant and cheap, people no longer needed fruit juices just to survive the week. Coca-Cola immediately capitalized on this cultural shift. They aggressively cornered the beverage market by selling people pure, ice-cold, sugary refreshment. Meanwhile, Hansen's entered a long period of stagnation. Hubert's grandson, Tim Hansen, attempted a revival in the 1970s with creative, organic flavor mashups, but the overhead costs of expanding production were too high. By 1988, the company filed for bankruptcy. The struggling brand shuffled through owners and went bankrupt a second time before a group of investors, led by Rodney Sachs and Hilton H. Schlossberg, purchased it in 1992 and took the company public on the NASDAQ. The new leadership looked at the balance sheets and realized a harsh truth. Clinging to a legacy healthy juice brand in a market that heavily favored cheap, flavored thrills was a guaranteed corporate death sentence. Sachs and Schlossberg initially tried to modernize the product line in the 1990s. They pivoted toward a booming category known as New Age functional health drinks, rolling out bottled iced teas and fruit smoothies. They looked at popular trends in Europe and Asia for inspiration and began infusing their canned smoothies with a specific performance-enhancing acid called taurine. Despite the new ingredients, these functional products failed to capture massive market share. The beverages were simply too similar to what established giants like Snapple were already pushing onto convenience store shelves. Incremental updates weren't cutting it. Playing it safe and relying on their wholesome legacy was actively holding the business back from achieving real exponential growth. By 2002, a new beverage category had emerged, but it was dominated by one player. Red Bull held a massive 50% market share. Sachs and his team decided to attack Red Bull directly. To do it, they created a product that was the exact opposite of Hansen's historic, sunny Californian image. They launched a radical rebrand. They threw out the wholesome glass bottles and introduced massive black cans scored with jagged neon claw marks. Inside, the drink was loaded with significantly higher sugar and caffeine content than the competition. The marketing strategy aggressively targeted the extreme sports demographic. The company poured millions of dollars a year into campaigns centered entirely around a new, combative slogan, "Unleash the Beast." To finally win, Hansen's had to completely erase its 70-year identity. They abandoned the sunny agricultural orchards entirely, fully embracing a highly artificial, nocturnal, and highly aggressive modern aesthetic. By 2004, Monster's sales shot up 162. That single launch propelled the company into the top tier, with stock prices exploding from $4 to $108. Fast forward to 2014, and the ultimate irony of this story takes shape. Coca-Cola, the exact company that crushed Hansen's in the 1950s, purchased a 17% stake in Monster for $2.15 billion. The terms of the deal were highly unusual. Coke handed over its own energy brands, like NOS and Full Throttle, along with its robust global distribution network, directly to Monster. In return, Coca-Cola took over the old Hansen Natural juice lines for itself. Teaming up with their historical rival proved that abandoning the grocery store juice aisle to conquer the extreme energy market was an absolute strategic victory. Today, Monster Energy is a nearly $50 billion global titan. They employ thousands of people and act as a premier sponsor for massive mainstream cultural events like NASCAR. It is a bizarre, winding trajectory from Hubert Hansen's Depression-era apple juice stand to a neon-drenched, high-caffeine empire. Brand legacy is often a trap. Achieving monumental dominance requires completely destroying who you were to give a new generation exactly what it wants.